All right, where are we? Oh, okay. So we have to take into consideration the different types of people that we have out there when we talk about this stuff. So right now you have small percentages of beings that control everything, and they are banking on the fact that you are in a mode of chaos and you're in a thought process of, oh, there's no way to get out of this, because a lot of things that I hear from semi-intellectual white people is, oh, all you do is complain and talk about the problems, but you never have a solution. That's their thought process, right? Because what we know about white people is this. What did they want? They wanted all the benefits of working without having to work. That's their thought process. They want all the benefits, which is why governments on several different continents agreed to fucking fund their fuck ass shit. Okay? Because they could harvest the data. We're talking about gamification. We're talking about meta. We're talking about harvesting our genetic code. Okay? Down to the point where, HIPAA rules are in place for the government, but they don't actually matter when it comes down to a corporation, a private corporation, a private entity. That's why some people who grew up watching National Geographic were like trustworthy of the National Geographic Project, who banked on the ignorance of minorities in this country, not knowing their lineage and their need to want to know where they came from, and them charging top dollar, because they were charging more than any genetic company out there. They banked off of that, and they fucking took people's genetic code. Then they partnered with labs, and then when they partnered with the labs, now when you sign the paperwork, if you paid for the testing, you paid for the testing. You did not agree for a lab to put your information in a database. You did not agree for your information to be sold to a third party, right? And this is why we talk about the nigga with the swamp shit, okay? Because when he was president, all of the genetic protections that we had, they went to shit. So a lot of the ignorant brown people that supported this fuck ass nigga, okay, we're talking all this shit about, oh, Biden's against, and then that's not to say that Kamala isn't Kamala and Biden is not Biden, okay? Because when you're in the middle, you could call out everybody's fuck ass shit and ain't nothing they can do about it. Right? They're going to be mad about it and that's it. That's the benefit of taking the middle path. Because in the middle path, you can see the bullshit from both ends. So, while this Republican that is masquerading as a Republican, because he was really a Democrat, but he realized that Republicans are a bunch of fucking goddamn zombies, realized that he could exploit Republicans to get into office, because they believe fucking anything, basically. He got into office. One of the first things that he did was remove your HIPAA rights. One of the first things that he did was allow your genetic right, because because you have to look at your rights on a multi-dimensional way. The government is supposed to be the standard, right? Okay. Other people, private entities, these people, they will take whatever the government says. They will just take it worth a grain of salt, because they know they're not getting punished like regular niggas. So they'll do whatever the fuck they want to do And they know they'll get a pass for it. And even if they gotta take jail time, they'll come out and still be rich as fucking fuck off your shit. That's what the National Geographic Project did. They sat there, took mad niggas' DNA. And then, because y'all asses are so stuck up the asshole of fucking entertainers. And that's not to denigrate entertainers. There's some entertainers out here that, you know what? You should appreciate. I say it like that because of the fact that how many people writing their own shit? How many people doing their own shit? I'm not going to wait. They're like, I'll wait. No, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to move on. So you have all these people doing all that shit. And then you want to know your information. So you're like, fuck it. I want to. They really thought that because when I did my test, I wanted to know what royal ass niggas was fucking up my shit. What royal ass niggas got me out here like a fucking project baby up in this bitch. I wasn't trying to be out 5% Asian. I'm not trying to be out here making friends with nobody Asians. Even if the Asians the only niggas feeding me if my ass is fucking sick. I'm not even trying to do that. The Asians know I'm not trying to do that too. That's why they sticking fucking stainless steel scrubbies and shit in my food, trying to kill me every time I turn around. That's why they out here fucking up my shit. They like, oh, we gotta get rid of this bitch. Okay? That's why everywhere you go, no matter what you do with an Asian, you know, no matter how much they smile in your fucking face, that nigga trying to kill your ass. Because if their anime don't tell you nothing, it's that they want to be just as fucked as these white people. Okay? They want to be brown when they want to be brown. But they really want to be white. That's why they keep bleaching their damn skin like that. That's why even if their ancestors look brown as fucking fuck, them niggas still out here trying to be fucking goddamn white. And don't get me started on that colorism ass crazy ass shit. Don't get me started on it. Don't get me started on it because I'll go in. But we have to think about how they're doing us. And you know, as a person that's a hateful ass nigga, you're gonna have a problem with this. You're gonna have a problem with this because you never gonna look at somebody and say, how the fuck can that person give a fuck about this, that, and still give a fuck about me? When we talk about spirituality, we're talking about religion. When we're talking about religion, we're talking about spirituality that has been bastardized. We're talking about things that existed that you don't know about. Things that your lineage, that you have more of your lineage exploited. Okay? So, even if you were to sit there and say, listen, I've been through this fuck ass shit and my family's done blah blah blah, you can say all of that. Nobody's saying you can't say that. What we're saying is, even if your mother was a piece of shit, even if your mother was a piece of shit, even if your father, he should have burned in the fucking flames, you still belong to a collective of beings that are still here. You still belong to a collective of beings that were told to inherit the earth. And no matter what they say, no matter what they claim, oh, this is the skin color thing, no. That's irrelevant. Your spiritual fire, and this is why you keep looking like a being that is so radical. Your spiritual fire is just as wild and rough as Mother Earth's spiritual fire. The being who technically birthed you is the planet that you're destroying. So you're running away from your mother, and Freud would love this, okay? Because the mother that birthed you probably was a piece of shit. The mother that birthed you was probably just shitty, because nobody had a manual, okay? Nobody's judging these bitches either. What we're saying is, though, turn the camera. You're not living with this water. You're not living with this earth. You're not living with all this shit that's here. All this shit that's here. That is your mother. You have a literal symbiosis with your mother. Fuck these fuck ass niggas, and that's it. And we're not talking niggas on a racist perspective. We're talking niggas because you know what they said. You know what they said. Niggas means ignorant. Okay, if niggas mean ignorant, you're not fucking with these ignorant ass niggas. Okay? You fucking with the fucking tierra that's around you. The tierra in Spanish is fucking the soil, the land, everything around you. The water that's around you. All these trash ass politicians, these people, they mean nothing. They mean nothing. There is no title that they could give them that would give them more power than you. And it's not white supremacy. It's not. Because if it was, when they did their thing, it wouldn't be people like me calling them out on their bullshit. It wouldn't be us speaking the fucking facts and telling them, hey, do the same thing as us. See how it gets you. See what it gets you. Everything that they fucking touch turns to shit. And it's not because of us. Because we always find out the shit after the fact. It's not us. It's them. Their shit. So what are you saying? What does that mean? What that means is that there's nothing that you need to do aside from hunkering down, going into the space that is yours, and taking that space, connecting with that space. When they say just being, all the gurus that I talk shit about telling you that you need to just be, no. No. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. He's in trouble. He's like that. He's like that. He's on the wave of, I'm just going to do shit. All the women in this space are on women mode. They're on their period, whatever the case may be. And because I'm a man, I'm just going to go and put my little pee-pee everywhere and piss everywhere. I'm going to just fuck it, drop a deuce wherever the fuck I want. That's how these dudes, because we talking about the patriarchy. When they talk about feminists, when they talk about the feminists are doing this, and that. There's feminists that are fucked up and they're like, oh, fuck all men. Real feminists don't even do that. Okay? So disregard them bitches because they don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Disregard them bitches. Disregard them. Because a real feminist is going to say, listen, we could cohabitate together. But you want to be out here doing the fuck ass shit. So you're going to be in trouble with the rest of these fuck ass niggas, and that's it. And we have a little confusion because you got a lot of people. There's a lot of niggas out here. My titties be holding me down. When I'm about to get my period or when I'm on my period, my shit be holding me down. There's not one day in my life, that I ever said, I want to do away with my titties because, oh, they doing da-da-da-da. So if I take that perspective and look at me like a mixed person and say, there's not one moment that I want to do away with white people, even the racists. Oh, I don't want to do away with them. No, because they're proving my point. They're proving my point. So the only thing that you can do is be on the same wave or be an enemy. And you want to keep being an enemy. That's your decision. We'll let you do that. The point of the matter is that when you stay an enemy, Mother Earth, if we're claiming Mother Earth as our mother, she flooding you. She taking out your families. Even with them having a tiny bit of control. A tiny bit of control of the things that she can do. She still, if there were white supremacists that you want to take control and power over, if there were white supremacists, why are they not sparing you? And if they're not sparing you, are they really white supremacists then? Right? That's what you need to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself that. Because they doing what they doing, and they doing what they doing, and that's it. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm telling it like it is. You like to grab them by the pussy, we grabbing you by the brain cells. Okay? I'd rather grab you by the brain cells, because grabbing you by a sexual organ, even if I'm a Scorpio and I rule the sexual organs, grabbing you by a sexual organ when literally everything that you are is more than a sexual organ, okay? I'm not gonna sit there and try to control your ass. I'm gonna tell you what the fucking fuck is going on, and you can sit there and be a fucking goddamn blind ass minion, or you can fucking goddamn have some goddamn free thought in this bitch. That's all you can do. You don't have no other options. There is no other options for you. You can keep fucking off all you want. They could steal my shit, bro. Society of Free Thinkers. If you look at the fucking timestamps on Facebook, Free Think itself, that YouTube, the niggas that are trying to claim that's my shit. That's my shit. They stole that shit. I'm not gonna sit out there and be arguing with a nigga in court. I'm not gonna do that. Because they could dress up their shit all they want, but they not gonna be my shit. Number one. Number two, I already feel how I feel about the fucking authority in itself. And there's nothing that they're showing me. There is nothing that they're showing me that is giving me contradictory explanations as to how this is supposed to operate without the fuck ass shit. So, if that's like saying IA is gonna investigate the police. That's what that is. We're not investigating none of that shit. We're not doing that. What we are is fresh off a bid with no fucking fucks, because we already fucking know that the fucking court is a bunch of fucking goddamn cult followers, and nobody can support it, and they don't have to. It's not going to stop the truth. And they don't want the truth, and that's what the fuck it is. And you gonna see it. If you don't see it, when your asses are scraping the bottom of the barrel because you don't have no rights, none, and you looking for them brown people to have your fucking back, you're gonna say, maybe I need some brown friends. That's how you're gonna be. That's how you're gonna be, because that's how your ass is right now. That's why y'all niggas got niggas like Kanye that be out here trying to steal regular nigga shit. And he's a fucking a nigga that you swear he making all his shit. Meanwhile, that nigga wasn't talking none of that shit before I was talking that shit. Meanwhile, this whole entire government didn't even have military fucking operations that were doing remote viewing with Russia. With Russia, they weren't doing that before my ass was doing that shit on fucking in AOL days. They weren't doing that. I was out here all like, you know, I went on a vampire chat because I was curious because, you know, there's like vampire movies going on, a lot of shit going on. So I was like, oh, let me be, you know, first, the AOL days when the internet was like popping. And I was in this like vampire chat room or whatever. And the people were talking a lot of shit. And then there was this one lady or whatever. And she was in the chat, but not really participating in the chat. But like, my spirit was basically like, you need to talk to this lady. So, and it's crazy because remote viewing came out when it came out. It came out way after this incident. So that's why I'm like, that's why I bring it up. So this lady, nobody was talking to her. She lives in California, which is crazy in itself because California is basically like, you know, damn, my eyes itching. California is basically like its own fucking country. California just does whatever the fuck. There's niggas in California. There's niggas in California that they have... I laugh about it because California is like one of the only places that they literally have police chases like it's no fucks. Hold on a second. Y'all gonna have to wait for me to fix my contacts. My contact is acting crazy. So anyway, long story short, my spirit is like, yo, you need to talk to this lady. Da 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 da. I don't know why the fucking hell I felt I needed to make a dialogue with this lady, but you know what? One day I wish that this lady would just come out because, I mean, I was a teenager at the time. So where she is now is probably, I don't know, she's probably senile now. Her husband's probably dead, but what happened was, long story short, I'll put my contact back in. My shit was acting crazy. So long story short, I'm texting this lady, well, chatting with this lady in the vampire chat. Vampire chat was not just, oh, vampires, because, you know, talk to the spiritual community. They'll be like, what, vampire? You're a fucking energy vampire. Shut up, okay? Stop talking about shit you don't even know about. You wouldn't even know it. Just like I tell these other people, you wouldn't know Jesus. You wouldn't know a God. You wouldn't know a vampire. You wouldn't know none of that shit if it smacked you in the fucking face. Matter of fact, you going to spiritual niggas to tell you if you ran into one. That's how bad it is. So, I digress. But I was in this little chat, not because I'm a vampire, but because the fact that I was curious about vampires. I was curious about just people in general. And it was just another part of sociology for me. And I see this lady and I started talking to her. And we didn't exchange any like personal, private, anything. She didn't give me no details about her life. None of that shit. But like while I was typing to her, my body was like, I say it like that because it was like this. It was like I felt like this extreme calm over my body. And then all of a sudden, like, I started getting like visions, like I was there. But like I stopped seeing things that were in front of me. So the computer was in front of me. The keyboard was in front of me. And then all of a sudden, like, I started seeing like videos. Like it was like videos of some lady. And I saw details. So it wasn't, oh, just some lady. No, it was like this lady. She looked like this, and that. And she was going to this type of house. And she was walking through the front door with this dude in a wheelchair. And they had like a split level house. And then she would just like go down the stairs and like take this guy down the stairs. Like I started seeing mad shit. So I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And I felt crazy as fuck because, I mean, hello, we all grew up where we grew up at. So you gonna feel some type of way if just out of nowhere some crazy ass shit starts happening to you. So I'm like, I was like, I just feel like I need to tell you this. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I just feel like I need to tell you this. At the time, I could not verbalize to her that I got a download about her reality, and I needed to tell her what was happening and what my spirit felt led to tell her. Because when you're a person that's a healer, you get these downloads and shit, and it's like sometimes you need to tell somebody something, and it might be some shit that they don't want to hear. It might be shit they need to hear. It can vary, right? So I'm chatting with her, and matter of fact, I have to think about it specifically. She was talking about, oh fuck, I can't even remember. She was talking about something. It was benign. Like, it was benign. It was like something that they just, you know, just in general vampiric, right? We'll say that because it wasn't even that, but we'll just say it like that. So let's just say, oh, vampires drink blood. Boom. She's talking about that. Boom. It wasn't even like that, but that's how I'm going to say it. Because I'm listening to her, I'm looking at the chat, I keep getting all these visions and stuff, and I'm like, I can't not say what I'm seeing, and I feel like I have to say what I'm seeing because it's not my reality right now, and it's so fucking far out there that it'll be like, what the fuck, and like niggas will look at me like, what the fuck. And it's not to say that I wanted to tell her because I wanted niggas to look at me like, what the fuck. No, it was like, at the time I was just very naive and just kind of just like, you know, I don't know. I really don't even know. Oh, you know what it is? It's that I wanted to help her because I felt her sorrow. If I want to be honest with myself, I felt her sorrow because I felt like she had been in a position where this man was taking care of her, but now he's in a position that he cannot do that. And she was feeling resentment towards it, anger towards it, debating on if she should kill this guy, like a lot of shit. Like there was so, like I saw the vision, but then I felt everything that she felt. So I was like, oh, this bitch about to turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it was like, to save this lady's life, basically, I had to be honest about what I was experiencing. And so I just flat out started texting her. I'm like, or messaging her. I'm like, can I ask you a question? And she's like, sure. And I'm like, do you live in a house that looks like da 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 da? You married? Because she did say she was married. She didn't say nothing about her husband was handicapped. None of that shit. I was like, do you live with a guy who lives in a wheelchair? And do you take him downstairs every day? Because when I saw my vision, I saw her repeatedly taking the dude down the stairs. I'm like, I see her doing that shit. So I'm like, you know, I asked her that. And the chat was like, you know, there was no text in the chat for a minute. And I just thought the bitch was going to be like, bitch, you crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that's how she was going to be. But, I mean, I saw it so real that it was like, I didn't know what to do except for to be honest. So, I was just like, man, look. So, let me ask you this question because I want to make sure I'm not tripping. It was partially to help her, but it was partially for me to be like, yo, I'm not tripping right now. Like, I'm not tripping. So I asked her. The chat was mad quiet for a while. And then she was like, I've been on, she admittedly told me, I've been in this chat a long time. And she said, I never came across anybody like you. I never came across a person that could see what is happening in my life and tell me exactly what's going on in my life. Like, I go to the tarot card readers, all kinds of shit. And still, nobody is telling me exactly what's happening in my life. And that's when I didn't even realize at the time that I was remote viewing. I didn't get that. So I just told her, I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know anything, but all I can do is just be intuitive, tell you what I'm seeing, and tell you what I feel that you need to hear. And I told her, I'm like, listen, push away all those feelings of negativity. Push away all those feelings that, you have it bad. Push away all those things, because you had what you had. And right now, you're the savior for somebody that cannot help themselves. And that person would fight for you tooth and nail if they could, but they cannot. And crazily, we're how many decades in the forward? And I talk about black people, white people, all that shit, and racist and things like that. But why I feel that racists are racist is because they feel that nobody cares about them and nobody loves them. And in my experience, I've been friends with people that were grown up in the KKK and in white supremacy. And my general experience is that those people feel that nobody cares about them, and that's not the truth. Because if you're like me, and there's many of us, we just don't get the fucking funding. We don't get the, we're not out here giving a fuck about what people think about us. So we're not paying for advertising. We're not doing that. But people care about you. Even if you're a hateful person, people care about you. And it's foreign. And it's not just you. It's in the ghettos too. Because you have people in the ghettos that are just doing some, like minorities in the ghettos that are doing some crazy fuck ass shit. And they think nobody gives a fuck about them. So they do all this shit because they want somebody to see them and da-da-da. But in reality, there's people that really exist that they can't take advantage of, because they're instilled with this narcissism that narcissists like to exploit. So let's say that they need affection and care and attention. They're going to get that affection, care, and attention like a dog, negatively. When really, they can get that affection and attention very easily from people like me, who see them and see what they need, but will not put up with their fuck ass shit. There's a song out here right now called, let me see if my Xbox is up and running. I'm gonna play it. There's a song right now that's out here from a nigga that I pretty much think that he's probably a racist. I ain't gonna front. I really think the nigga's a racist. I listen to it all the time though. Like, not all the time, but I've listened to it enough to sit there and say, man, that nigga sound like he sound like a white supremacist. Period. Okay? But as a person whose mother is the earth, I think about it. When I hear about it, I resonate with it in several different ways. But when I hear it, I'm not hearing a person, because one of my neighbors, like, I have some elderly neighbors, and like sometimes I play music, and my elderly neighbors, they love it. But there's sometimes I play music, my elderly neighbors don't like it. It's like, they'll tell me, because I tell my elderly neighbors this: listen, my door is always open. If you have a problem with me, never call the police. Come to my door and talk to me. I have no problem with that. I'm not so confrontational that you can't have a conversation with me. I might look like I might turn up, and yes, I will. But if we need to discuss something, we're grown ass adults, we can discuss it and that's it. And we'll adjust as we go. So there's this song, I'm trying to find it right now, but it's my okay, Xbox. All right, let's turn on the TV. Hold on a second, let me turn the TV on, because I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna try it anyway, because I put it on, like, all right, when I was going through a lot of trauma, I used to listen to Evanescence, because it, you know, back, you know, before the Open Door, Evanescence was like a band where I could go through a lot of shit and just, you know, get through it, and it helped me get through a lot of stuff. So, like, I hear this song, and I hear it like, damn, hold on one second, let me pause this shit real quick. Alright, I don't know where the battery is, and, well, the batteries are for my controller, for my TV. My Xbox is turning on, but the controller, and the controller's turned on, but the fucking TV is not right. So, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to insert it into the video, or at the end of the video, but basically, the lyrics are like this: you will see me. And alright, so the name of the song is called You Will See Me by Scroobius Pip. The dude looks like Abraham Lincoln, fucking decided to smoke a joint and fucking talk shit. And basically he's like, you're my new inspiration, my muse. And then he goes off into all kinds of shit. And basically he's saying that, and he's just in this little room, writing on paper and shit, and he's just talking his shit. But what he sounds like is an angry white supremacist, because what he says is, very specifically, I will make rivers run red in your anonymity. The screams of nations will echo our affinity. My wrath will be relentless. My path of destruction will be momentously momentous. I will change the face of history and paint it in my likeness. And I will like this. I will lay waste by land, air, and sea, and you will see me. And that's like basically one of the most important parts of the situation. And I listen to it a lot because I resonate with it as a, you know, brown person that has been underserved and, you know, a lot of the struggle. But what I see from a lot of white supremacy is basically them acting like they on the struggle. Because it's not to say that they didn't have to, you know, work a lot. Because what I have witnessed through their history is that even their own fucking family disinherited them on multiple levels for various reasons. Left them out. Especially if they like brown people. Okay? Especially. And there's a lot more of them that like brown people that don't. So it's a very common factor. So why I bring that up is because the fact that there's so much of the hatred, when in reality there's so many of us that are like, why? Fuck them and that's it. You don't see us harping on that shit. And because they don't really know what a real struggle is, they don't know that, listen, it can get worse. It can get worse and still be awesome. You can have nothing and still pull yourselves up. Like, they don't know what real struggle is. So, like, they don't know that. Their parents never left them in a place with $20 in their pockets and they fucking survived 6 months in that bitch. They never done that. That wasn't a thing for them. So, you know, some little bullshit of them, you know, having a little struggle is like catastrophic to them. So I was trying to play it. I was probably going to get copywritten anyway, so maybe my battery was just on the wave of making sure that I'm right. But That's where we are. That's where we are. And somehow they not seeing that, because if you had brown friends, they would tell you. They would tell you. They wouldn't give a fuck. The same way that everybody's trying to sit there and act like Trump is every brown person's friend, and everybody like, oh, grab him by the pussy, because these niggas are pussy dealing with bitches that are pussy popping on a handstand. Okay? The same way, that's how it will be if fucking goddamn white supremacists had a brown people friend. That's why they want them out here, you know, thinking that we all against each other and da-da-da-da. When the fact of the matter is, they looking at you like a peasant, like they looking at us like a peasant. And they got you over here believing some bullshit. Just like they got us over here believing some bullshit. So you gonna keep believing the bullshit? Or you gonna free think and think on your own? Or are you gonna wait for them to burn the whole fucking goddamn shit down and flood all the shit up? Are y'all gonna do that? Because we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. We're cutting that shit right in the middle of the shit. We're cutting it. And you keep saying that you have religion and worrying about the feed-eye and all that. But yet we still grown-ass, regular-ass people, and you just fuck us. Fuck us. Because fuck us is fuck you too, bitch. Fuck us is fuck you too, bitch. So you need to get it together. Because you fucking up.